Hi, you guys, and welcome back to my new video. I know it's been a couple of days, and I know you guys noticed that I'm back to posting one video a week because you know what? I have to go back to work. And we're done with the Christmas vacation, so it is what it is. What are you gonna do about it? However, I'm gonna make the most out of it, and I'm gonna give you the most valuable information in that short given time. So, without any further delays, let's dive right ahead into our new video, Imposter Syndrome. I'm sure a lot of guys can resonate. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already heard about this. What is an imposter syndrome? Like, where does it even come from? I know you guys have a lot of questions, and I'm going to answer all of them while giving you all the different types of imposter syndromes, by the way, which is going to be very interesting because I know most of you guys are going to relate to that because I related to it. I related to it to my bones, boy. So, let's dive right ahead into the chapters. Let's get into the ooey gooey center, baby. Now, let's get the basics out of the way. What is imposter syndrome, you ask? Simply put, it's feeling like a stranger in your own body. And why is that? It's because your perception of yourself is so distorted that you don't really relate to yourself. And you're like, you know what? My achievements are not my own. My hard work is not my own. My talent is not my own because I can't be that talented. Oh my God. Or, I couldn't have achieved that. Oh my God. Or I couldn't have received that promotion. Oh my God. Or I couldn't have, wouldn't have, shouldn't have, whatever negative connotations. Simply put, because you can't relate to yourself and you feel like an imposter in your own body. You feel like you're a stranger watching this person work and achieve all of this. However, it's you. It's you who's doing all of this. I know. I know. As exciting and as confusing as that sounds, we're going to go into detail as to why imposter syndrome might even occur in the first place. Now that we discussed what imposter syndrome is, we're going to discuss the root cause of imposter syndrome and why that even happens in the first place. Your first and foremost reason starts from your childhood, your family dynamics, your expectations, your success, or your definition of success. Let me simplify all that for you. Basically, when you were a kid, you either valued education and coming first in class a little too much, or you didn't value it at all. Probably your parents did not validate you enough and be like, you know what, you're enough, you're more than enough, whatever you're doing is enough, you're sufficient, you can take care of yourself, or you know what, you're going to grow up to be a wonderful individual, etc., etc. Or they over validated you in a way. That's extreme too, because now you expect everything in your life to be perfect. Well, you're not Blair Waldorf, are you? However, that could be one of the reasons. The second reason could be your expectations. It could even stem from your personality, or it could be societal expectations or parental expectations. Now we live in a world where we have unrealistic standards, for example, that everything needs to be perfect. So a person needs to have XYZ traits to be able to qualify for certain roles. However, if you don't have those traits and you still qualify for that role, it doesn't like that. That is imposter. Like, how did you do that? How did you do that? No, you're not a scammer. No, you're not a phony person. You do have the capacity to do it, and that's why you achieved it in the first place. You probably seek validation from external sources. External sources not doesn't just mean people. It means your career, it means your partner, it means a job or task that you've been appointed, and you need to finish that in a particular amount of time, and that's how you validate your level of success or your level of talent or your level of understanding of the subject or your intellect, in a way. Now when you seek external validation and approval like that, it basically stems back to your childhood, where probably you were not taught how to self-validate yourself. You probably don't know what self-love is. You probably don't know what self-confidence is. You probably don't know all of that. Or you probably know all of that. You probably know all of that. However, your thirst and drive for success makes you feel like an imposter in your own body. Makes you feel like, you know what, I doubt myself, so I can't achieve all of this. However, you see the achievements right in front of you and be like, you know what? I have achieved all of this. So what is there to doubt? Like, what are you talking about? You have what it's got to take. Like, you've got it. You've got it. You've got it. You have what it takes. So I don't know. Now that we've discussed what imposter syndrome could even stem from, we're going to talk about the 5 different types of imposter syndromes. Let's dive into it. The first one, the perfectionist. Hello, did you not see that coming? Perfectionism and imposter syndrome go hand in hand, baby. Ooh, they're buddies. Because now a perfectionist, what they do is they set excessively high standards and goals for themselves, and then they beat themselves up when they can't achieve the goals. Like, are you for real? Are you for real? They try to micromanage and control every single thing, and then they're left with immeasurable amount of self-doubt where they're like, where did I go wrong? Why did this? Because it was not even in your control. Like, guys, I'm going to link my videos above. You need to watch that. If you feel like you're suffering from this, you need to watch that, because, oh boy, I heard that and I felt you. So I'm here to help you. However, how do you recognize when you have any of these? How do you know if you're a perfectionist? I'm going to give you 5 questions. Do you micromanage a lot? Do you have difficult delegating? Do you feel like you should be the one in charge so as to get that work done, or else it's not going to get done? Not the way you like it. Do you feel like your work needs to be 100% perfect at all given times? And it should be in a flow of order, and it should, just fit together and like swim together. Do you feel disappointment more often than not? My friend, you're a perfectionist. You're a perfectionist. Do what you may with that, but I'm breaking to you. The second one, the superwoman or the superman phenomenon. I know. It's exactly what it sounds like. And I'm pretty sure we've seen one of these, or we are one of these. Well, these are the kind of people who outwork, outsmart, outdo everyone around them because they feel like they have to. They even push themselves to the point of breaking because they feel like they have to. Or else they're not the real deal. Or else they don't get that validation within themselves. Or else they don't feel successful enough. Or else they feel insufficient or incapable in any which way or form. They will even push themselves to the point where they exhaust themselves, burn themselves out, and it actually literally affects their mental health. Or else they will feel like phonies in the real world. They feel like, I don't really fit in with the other people. I need to work harder than them to be able to be the real deal. Because I'm Superwoman, because I'm Superman, and I can do it. I've got everything. You know who you are. Now, how do you know whether you have the superwoman or the man phenomenon? I have 4 questions for you to be able to understand this. Do you work later than everyone in the office? When everyone's gone home, you're still there. You're earlier to work than most. I called you out. Do you quit all your hobbies and passions just for the sake that you gotta work? So basically, you abandon yourself. Have you? Do you feel like you're not doing enough every time you rest? Do you think about work every time you rest? Do you feel like you haven't worked enough? Do you? Do you feel like you haven't earned your title? Okay, then my friend, you are in the superwoman or man phenomenon. Because, no, you're fine. Dude, you earned it. You're worth it. The third type, the natural genius. I know. These are the ones who are really cocky. These are the ones who are really arrogant. These are the ones who are really loud and be like, you know what? I can grasp anything within 10 seconds. These are the ones who actually judge and shame themselves because they base their competence and intellect on the fact as to how quick they can grasp a topic or, how quick they learn, basically. They have a inner dialogue that goes, okay, I gotta be faster than everybody. I gotta be quicker than everybody because I'm a natural genius. Or else they hate themselves. Or else they beat themselves up because they're like, you know what, I'm probably not that smart because I couldn't figure that out quicker. You know what, I'm probably not this, I'm not that, I'm, just not competent enough. Because They took some time to understand a simple theory, or they took some time to understand a simple topic like normal human beings are supposed to do. Now, a natural genius, a person who's actually genius, will never beat themselves up like that, because they know they're human, because they know to be able to excel and to, even ace a topic, a field, your work, it's going to take time. It's going to take perseverance. It's going to take some action from your side. However, it's going to take a lot of patience. I know you guys thought about a lot of people, because I did too. How do you know that you're an imposter, natural genius? I have 4 questions for you. Are you the smart one in the family? Did your parents ever tell you that you're the smartest one in the family? It's okay, you can tell me. It's a safe space. You know that. Do you tumble every time you don't succeed at something? Do you tumble and crumble and your self-loathing and your self-esteem is gone down? It's just like, you know what? Oh my God, this can't happen to me. Oh my God, you come crumbling down like that. Is that you? Are you the ones who got straight A's through school and university? How's it going, by the way? I'll see you. Number 4, the soloist. Now, these are the people who think that by asking for help, they are going to reveal their phoniness. They are going to feel fake. Because if I really knew everything, if I know what I have to do, why would I even ask for help? You have that amount of self-confidence that you need to do everything all alone without asking for help. And you don't need anybody's help. Like, it's good to be independent. I get that. I completely agree with it, because I'm very independent and I understand that. However, everyone needs help. Everyone needs help. But these people, they don't need help. They're good on their own. They're good on their own, very extremely hyper independent, you could say. And they always base their requirements as a requirement of the project, and not necessarily that they need anything. Is because the project needs something. Do we recognize it? I know you thought of someone. Now, how do you know if you're a soloist or someone around you is soloist? Or how do you just generally recognize people who are soloist? They have an I can do it all alone attitude. They feel shame, or they just hesitate, like they choke up when they have to ask for help, because they're like, that can't be me, like, yuck, like, ugh, I can't ask for help. They have a dire need and desire to fulfill and achieve everything on their own without asking for help, without looking left or right. They just focus. They're like those horses with those flaps. They just see the goal and they're like, you know what, I need to get there anyhow, but I'm going to do it myself. The 5th type, the expert. Now, these people are those people who need to know everything about everything. Okay? So, if they were being questioned in some fake scenario, or if they're being interrogated, they know the answer to every question possible in the world. They base their competence and intellect based on how much they know. They need to know the ins and outs of the general vocabulary and the general dictionary. They need to know that they're the smartest one in the room. They need to know that they're the ones that people come to when they need expert advice. They're so used to being called the experts. Now, that's become a source of validation for them. Now, how do you know that you're the expert? Or someone around you is an expert, or, just how do you know if someone is an expert? It's basically, they always feel like they don't know enough. Like, they just need to know everything. They just need to know more. They need to dig in deeper. They just feel like their knowledge is still lacking somewhere. When they're asked a question and they, God forbid, don't know the answer to it, they are a little too shocked. Like, they just can't deal with the fact that, well, it's okay, doesn't matter, I don't know the answer to everything, and that's fine. They're not normal about it. They are a little too shocked, where they're like, it's not possible for me. You constantly see them getting trainings and certificates and just researching random things and reading research papers into depth and detail because they need to know everything about everything, or else they feel invalidated within themselves because they're like, oh, you know what? I haven't put in 10 hours today researching and I slept for those 10 hours and got some peace of mind. No, that's not possible. How can I do that to myself? See, I'm all up for, self-improvement and growth and expanding your knowledge and all of that. But there's like a line, a thin line. If that's crossed, that's toxic. And these people are a little too on that side of things. You know what I mean? Now, having said that, how do you deal with imposter syndrome, or how do you help someone who has imposter syndrome? The first and foremost thing is learn to validate yourself. Learn to validate yourself, and this is where self-love comes into the picture, you guys. I'm telling you, at this point, if self-love was a brand, they would sponsor me because I talk about self-love so much. However, you know what I mean. The emphasis on self-love here is important. Self-validation is important. Self-compassion is important. Understanding yourself is important. Limiting and restricting yourself when it's necessary is important. Understanding your own boundaries is important. Respecting your own boundaries is important. All of these factors come into play when you're trying to deal with imposter syndrome. You need to be able to do things on your own, be self-sufficient, be independent, yet ask for help at the same time, because you're humans and humans were not meant to function alone. Humans were meant to live in a community. That's how the human race evolved. Humans were meant to live in a community and work together as a whole, because it takes a village. It takes a village. You can get help from your mentors, your guides, your friends, your parents, your grandparents. It could be anyone, but ask for help and know it's okay. You know that feeling when you feel like you're probably not enough. I don't know who said that to you. I don't know where that's come from, but you're more than enough. You're more than enough. Please know that. I know that, and I hope you know too. You're always more than enough. You don't have to feel insecure when you don't know certain things. You don't have to feel, self-doubt, or your world doesn't have to come crumbling down just because you don't know certain things, or you probably don't know the answer to particular questions, or you probably just, you're normal. You probably don't know, I don't know, certain things and certain aspects of life because they're new to you, because we are learning and evolving every single day, and that's completely fine. You learn something every day and you learn something new every day, and it's fine. It's a process. You need to understand that this is a process. You have to normalize the feeling of learning to lean back a little bit and just taking a little break and being like, you know what, it's okay. Learn to forgive yourself and learn to let things go. Stop trying to control, micromanage, reorganize, just brain scramble basically, because that's just going to lead you to overthinking, and you're overthinking a lot. That's going to give you mental issues. It's going to give you anxiety. It's going to trigger depression. There is no point. There is no need to even look that way. You don't even have to sway that way. Just understand your boundaries and just know when to stop. And if this is extreme and your imposter syndrome has gone beyond the point where your perception of yourself is so distorted at this point where you just don't relate to anything you say or do, it'll be best advice that you get help. You get professional help, and there is everything available. So we live in those times, guys. Like, we're really lucky that way. I consider myself very lucky to be able to live in such a time where we have help when we need it, when we freaking need it. Okay, so go get help. Having said that, we come to the end of this video, you guys. I know this was an interesting one. This was very different from most of the videos that I've done, but it is all interconnected, guys. It's all interconnected. This is the matrix. Everything is codependent on each other, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below as usual, and I will see you next week again with a brand new video. Hasta la vista, baby.